With a new policy from housing being released, we find out how students are being affected, a quick update on our men's baseball team, and listen to how our Sharks feel about the upcoming 58th Super Bowl. I'm Pablo Carrillo.
And I'm Mia Alvarado. Welcome back, Sharks.
NSU has recently made a few updates on the housing requirements for returning students. My co-anchor Mia took a closer look on what's new.
NSU has had a record-breaking number of incoming freshmen this school year. A recent change has been made to the housing policy regarding returning students.
The previous policy was that all students who are under the age of 20 are required to live on campus. So now there's no more live-on requirement for returning students. So if you're a returning student, you're not required to live on campus. You have the opportunity to live off campus, sign a lease if you would like. When previously the policy was if you were under the age of 20, you were required to live in the residence halls.
We spoke to a residential assistant to hear their thoughts on the new policy.
So as an RA, obviously it might affect us a little bit negatively because residents will think that we aren't really trying to connect with them as much as we are. We're going to be very busy with many more students, so it's going to be really hard on us to try to let them know that we do care for them and we are here for them. It's just we have more residents that we have to take care of. So it's going to take a toll. We're going to have to let them know. It's going to be through communication. So I think it's the valuable here is going to be communication.
Students spoke their concern about the potential change and no more single bedrooms offered here at NSU.
But I hear a lot of complaints from some other people, like people, especially in Leo, like they always have like conflict because they like right next to you and like on top of each other pretty much. And it's probably gonna be like more conflict because there's a lot of people who just want to be like by themselves.
Honestly, like I think it's kind of ridiculous just in the sense of like singles are supposed to be like, I would expect them to be like privacy wise. Like as a student, like as a freshman last year living in CLC in a quad, like I appreciated like having somebody share the room, but like obviously now that I'm a sophomore, I think that independence and like that privacy is very much like needed.
With the concerns about single rooms for students rising, the director of housing clarified that there will be no more single bedrooms, but there will be single suites offered for students.
So we didn't get rid of single bedrooms, we got rid of single one-bedroom apartments for students. So as in a one-bedroom apartment for one student. So now all the one bedrooms are going to be 2 students per bedroom. However, we still have studio options. So Mako Hall is still going to have studios, which is 1 student per studio. And then Rolling Hills A and Rolling Hills C, as well as University Point, have single studio options.
This new policy will take in effect on fall of 2024. I'm Mia Alvarado with Mako TV.
Thank you, Mia.
Up next for our health update, our reporter and general manager, Madison Kasper, sat down with Dr. Aubrey Raja to talk about salmonella.
Welcome to the health update. I'm Madison Kasper. Here with me is Dr. Aubrey Raja, Mako Media's Science and Health Advisor. Welcome, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Madison. It's a pleasure to be here.
Our topic today is the spread of salmonella. Dr. Raja, what is salmonella?
Salmonella is actually a bacterium, so it's a microorganism that is capable of causing an infection in human beings.
How is salmonella transmitted?
Salmonella can be transmitted from one human being to another if they happen to eat food or food products that are contaminated with the bacterium.
What are the symptoms of a salmonella infection?
The main symptoms would be fever. You would start off with a little bit of fever, followed by diarrhea and also abdominal cramps. And at times, the patient will also end up throwing up or vomiting is another symptom of the disease.
How does the spread of salmonella directly affect college students?
So a college student could get a salmonella infection if they happen to eat a product that is perhaps infected with the microorganism. So currently, salmonella is making the rounds, or it's an issue right now because there are some food products out on the market that have been recalled in the recent past, mainly some kind of cured meats that they believe has the organism salmonella in it. Now, if you inadvertently happen to buy that product and you didn't cook it really well, or you didn't throw out the package because you didn't see the warning label, and you ended up consuming that food product, then maybe you ingested salmonella in the process, and that will end up making you sick.
How can salmonella infection be prevented?
So you would have, the best way to prevent it is to cook your food, cook it well, and the idea is if you put it on a stovetop and you cook it, then you get rid of most of the bacterium that may be present on it. The other way would be is to constantly monitor, keep an eye out on what the central agencies like the FDA are telling us, and oftentimes they will put out a recall if there is a product that may have been tainted by the presence of a microorganism. And usually all the shops where we usually buy these products from, they will put out a notice on their shelves and say this product has been recalled, or they'll just take it off the shelf. So just paying more attention when you're buying these products is a good idea.
What foods are commonly associated with salmonella?
Right, so the main foods that can be associated with salmonella are usually food products that are people sometimes buy and don't cook them, but you can consume them directly. So for starters, it can be something like eggs. Of course, we end up cooking the egg, but then if you're not careful in how you handle eggs or how you handle your kitchen equipment that's been around where you were cooking with the eggs, that can be one. And the other, currently salmonella is a problem in these meat, like prosciutto or these cured meats that are on the market shelves where people can just kind of open the package and just consume it. Some of these products right now, they say are contaminated with salmonella, and so people are pulling some of these off the shelves of the markets.
Any last thoughts?
The main idea being, again, always, as a microbiologist, I would always say cook your food well before you consume it. And if you don't, then at least be aware of what is going on out there, and that pay attention to these kind of reports that come out, not to get alarmed by every single one, but sometimes it's a quick fix. Just cook your food, and if you're not cooking it, at least keep the area where you're making these foods clean. Wash your hands well with soap and water, and the same goes for the utensils and your kitchen countertop tables, things like that. Some basic cleanliness can be maintained, then for the most part, people can avoid these infections.
Thank you, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Madison.
This has been the Mako Media Health Update. I'm Madison Kasper. See you next time.
Thank you, Madison. Joining me today is Shani Allen, External Affairs Director for the Undergraduate Student Government Association. Welcome, Shani.
Thank you guys for having me here.
Of course. Now, USGA elections are opening up. What can students expect and hear from it?
So, there's a lot that's going on this year because we're trying to do it bigger and better. So, campaigning will start March 4th at 9 a.m. and then we will follow in with our first event March 7th at 12:30 to 1:30 in the UC Spine, where you can meet all of your candidates. And then after that, we have our annual presidential debate. This is an event you do not want to miss. This is going to be March 12th at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Miniachi Theater. So I advise everybody to come early. That way they can get their seats. Then after that, we will have another Meet the Candidates event on the 13th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. in the UC Spine. That way, if you didn't get the chance to come out to our other two events, then that is fine. But the most part, importantly, is voting. Voting is going to start March 18th, and it's going to go all the way till March 29th. That is when you guys can go on Shark Hub, use your NHU credentials, and vote for who you want to vote for. You can only vote for the president, executive vice president, chief financial officer, and all of the academic senators. And then once voting is over, then you guys can see at 12 p.m. on the 29th in Fight Deck who gets to win the elections. So I feel like there's a lot that you cannot miss. And then finally, we will be swearing in our new members on April 17th. Time and date will to be determined, but that is also something that we are adding new to the edition. That way, all of our students can see who they voted on.
Thank you, Shani. What other events can students expect this semester?
So, our big event is the USGA Fins Festival. That is the event everybody is waiting for. So that is going to be March 23rd, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the Gessner Field, right across from the Mako parking garage. There's going to be food, there's going to be attractions, giveaways, games. You get to eat like popcorn, Oreos, all the fun carnival aspects that you do not want to miss. I recommend coming out to our pre-waiver events, which are going to be March 21st and 22nd in the UC Athletic Hall of Fame from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on both dates. That way you can either be the first 500 to get a free shirt, and you'll be able to do your waiver and your wristband. So please don't wait last minute to do that. We're waiting the long line on the day of the event.
Now, how can students find out more information on each of these events, the elections and the Fins Festival?
On our Instagram, and of course you can use sharkhub.nova.edu, and you can go to Undergraduate Student Government Association page, and all of our events will be posted there as well. But I would keep on watching our USGA story for more updates and information.
Thank you, Shani.
You're welcome.
Up next, we have our reporter Veronica Prieto at NSU's 2024 Law Lunch and Learn. Let's take a look. Every month, students can participate in a Law Lunch and Learn in the Leo Goodwin Building. They learn about the law field and how to gain skills to help them learn in their future careers. Students gather here at the faculty study to meet with guest speaker Angelica Zadak to learn more about the law of improv.
So, improv helps us think on our feet.
Speaker Angelica Zadak taught students how improv and other games can be translated into a court of law.
Today I was talking about the law of improv. So taking different improv games, improv skills, improv tools, and techniques, and showing them how to use that in a courtroom or a classroom.
Student attendees give their thoughts on the event.
I enjoyed, it was nice to connect with people, and it's a new experience to learn about improv, especially because speaking and because English is my second language, so it's always nice to have things out of my comfort zone.
It was fun. I'm not used to public speaking, so getting out of my comfort zone and doing the improv was nice because I didn't have the confidence before to do it, but now I know I can do improv.
I really loved the audience participation. People were willing to get up, people were willing to do it, and people got that energy real quick, which was something they talked about, and I think that's just a great thing, especially for improv. That's real important.
A cat president.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I love that. Completely my idea that I was thinking.
The law building holds lunch and learns like this monthly. Be sure to reach out to Professor Garcia Brown for more information. I'm Ronnie Prieto with Mako TV. Thank you, Veronica.
For our Sharks in the Arts segment, our reporter Dana Bertel sat down with Brandon Isivido to discuss his upcoming musical.
Welcome to Sharks in the Arts. I'm Dana Bertel. Here with me is Brandon Isivido, NSU Junior in Shark Gold. Welcome, Brandon.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. How are you involved in campus?
So in campus, I'm an engineering major, not a theater major, not a theater minor, but my passion was always theater. So I sought it out, and now I'm involved in a lot of the theater program here, mainly through Stage 2 Productions, which is our student-led theater production. I've been involved with The Mayflies. I've been involved with Dolls of New Albion was my first year, a lot of the main stage shows as well, and now I get to write and direct my own.
That's awesome. What made you go into theater and singing?
I was always a singer. When I was a kid, I would go to my doctor's office, have my checkup, and then do a little performance for them. So I wanted to continue that as often as I could. When I went to college, my first thing was I need to find a place to do this, to continue this. I did a little digging, sent a little emails, and eventually I wound up in the inbox of Dan Gelbman, and he said, hey, come to Stage 2, we have a meeting tomorrow, and see if you like it. And it stuck.
What made you want to create a musical?
The musical was something I had actually been kicking around for a while, actually since COVID when I was in high school. I wanted to create a production that could work on pre-existing songs, something that I wouldn't have to write the music for. And then it just kept building and building, and I really fell in love with the story of it, more so than the songs. So it just evolved until I realized I wanted to make it a full musical, jukebox musical. And once I graduated high school, the idea kind of died a little bit. And I was digging around through some old files in my Google Doc, and I showed it to my friends, and I said, hey, we should do a little reading of this. And they read it, and they were like, hey, this is pretty good. You should pitch it to Stage 2, see what they say. And we voted, and they voted, and now we get to do it. And that's the most exciting thing.
That's awesome. What is the musical about?
So the musical is taking Disney love songs and putting them into a new context. Same thing with the Disney characters, characters that people already know and love, but twisted in a little way. Not a dark twisted and a funny twisted. It's an exploration of love songs and love and what it means to love, and we follow a narrator who has an enchanted storybook called Spellbound that can write any story that your heart desires. She ends up creating the kingdom of Cerelia, and she follows and guides us into this world. And she tries to keep the story straight, but things start to get away from her. And I think that's where I'll leave the plot for now.
Okay. And did you get help from faculty when creating this musical, making it come to life?
Yes. When I was writing the musical, I was always hounding on the door of Dan Gelbman and Alex Alvarez. I felt like every little decision I needed to get their validation on. And they were a big help with making sure that everything would run smoothly, that I knew how to direct something, that I knew how to write something. And this is a workshop which is not really something we had done before or recently. So every little advice, every little tidbit really helped making sure that it all ran smoothly.
What were some challenges you faced when creating this musical?
A lot of it was writer's block, was sitting down trying to figure out how to solve these little problems I was writing myself into. I knew I needed this character to be in this scene, but I didn't know how to get them there. A lot of it was just sitting down and talking through it, talking myself, being in the roles of the characters, just saying what felt natural and then writing it down as dialogue. I have thousands and thousands of voice memos of me just driving saying, oh, I got a new dialogue line, go and write this down when I get the chance. Me at work saying, hey, this would be a good idea for a song. So it was just whenever inspiration would strike to get it down onto paper as soon as possible.
Any last thoughts?
Well, we have the Spellbound auditions tonight, which is really exciting. We're going to have singers and actors in one audition and dancers in the other. We'll be able to put it on in a full capacity in a way that I had only dreamed of having. It's going to be a workshop, which means we get to see the rough cut of it, and we get to experience the show for the first time all the way through. So to be able to watch something happen from the seed of my idea back in high school to the performance now, and I could not have done it alone. I have so many great, amazing, talented people helping me. I have our dance choreographer, Isa. I have my music director, Jillian, my stage manager, Amanda, my tech director, Jackie, sound designer, Alex, and I have my assistant music director and assistant stage manager, Molly. And they've all just supported me the entire way through, and I could not have done it without them.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you.
Coming up in the arts is gruesome playground injuries and the annual Druid student exhibition. This has been Sharks in the Arts. I'm Ana Bertel. See you next time.
Joining me for our sports segment, we have Santi Finochietto. Welcome, Santi.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, what's going on with our men's baseball team?
Well, last weekend, the NSU baseball team opened the 2024 season with 3 wins and a loss. We had the pleasure to talk with MC Segarro and Jorge Braceras about this amazing start of the season. Opening this 2024 season with a couple of wins, the NSU baseball team looks forward to a successful season this winter. Since being announced as the 5th head baseball coach at Nova Southeastern University, head coach Adrian Morales transmitted the players the winning pedigree and work ethic of the program.
So we started in August in the fall. Brand new coach, Adrian Morales, came in and, he told us we had a standard. We had to work hard. Everybody had to work hard for their new position. Nobody had a spot on the team. We busted our rear ends every single day. Went back home and they still got their work in, came back, and it showed. It showed a lot in the opening weekend.
Despite the new coaching staff and the many new players on the roster, captain and catcher Jorge Braceras emphasized the relationship built within the team.
What really stands out the most is the team. Everybody's new. A lot of transfers came in. We're like a big family. 40 of the guys in the roster and 40 of us are like brothers.
Infielder MC Segarro speaks of the impact the new coaching staff has had on the players.
Coach Morales and all of the coaches do a great job of getting the best out of us. They push us every day to be the best that we can, and at the same time let us be free and be who we are as players, which is very important. And yeah, I think they've done a great job getting us ready up until this point.
The NSU baseball program keeps its hope to achieve the national championship.
Being a part of a winning culture, I've been lucky to be a part of that. I think the most important part is playing together as a team. And like I said, this team has that. This team has the fire, has the chemistry, and we all have that same goal in mind. Every day in practice, we all have that energy. We all bring the same mindset, and it's to win a national championship from day one. And that's why I think this team has the opportunity to do something special.
Today, the Sharks are back in action at the NSU Baseball Complex starting 6 p.m. This is Santi Finochietto with Mako TV. Tonight, the Sharks return to the Diamond, taking on Erskine from the NSU Baseball Complex starting at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Santi.
Thank you for having me.
For our last segment, our reporter Jocelyn Saccucci asks our Sharks their thoughts on this year's 58th Annual Super Bowl. Let's take a look.
The 58th Annual Super Bowl is coming up soon. Today, I'll be asking Sharks how they are spending this occasion. So did you know that the Super Bowl is coming up?
Yeah.
And do you have any special traditions that you like to do for the Super Bowl or anything special?
Yeah, I'm a big Chiefs fan, so I usually go for the Chiefs, and the Chiefs been in the Super Bowl a lot recently, so.
I don't really care about the Super Bowl, I'm from France. It doesn't really mean anything to me, so I think I'm just gonna sleep through it.
So a lot of the times my family will host like a big party, and like my family members, like because they all live around us, they'll come, or like work friends that I grew close to will come, and we'll just throw a big party to watch it.
So do you have any special Super Bowl traditions or anything special that you like to do?
Well, what I'm doing this year is not working. I got the day off for the Super Bowl, so, kind of a win-win.
Okay, and who are you rooting for?
You know what? I want to be a Swiftie. Let's go for Chiefs.
None of them, to be honest, but I'm going to go with the 49ers because I don't want Jackson Mahomes and his, what's he called, Taylor Swift. I'm tired of seeing them,
I'm personally going to root for Brock Purdy. I just can't take the Chiefs anymore.
Do you have any special plans for the Super Bowl or anything special that you like to do? Any traditions?
Usually it's actually around my brother's birthday, so we celebrate his birthday for it. But they changed it a week later, so now it's on my birthday. So I get to do that now. But I'm just celebrating with some friends, and that's about it.
I normally just hang out with some of my friends that really watch football, and just they have fun, so I go with them.
Well, this is actually my first Super Bowl that I'm going to see with my family here. So we just moved into a new house, and we're just going to come together, all family, and have some food and watch it all together. Nothing really special, but yeah.
The Chiefs and the 49ers will face off this Sunday, February 11th. I'm Jocelyn Saccucci with Mako TV.
Thank you, Jocelyn. That is all for this week's episode on Mako TV. You can catch our solo release videos on our YouTube channel at Mako Television.
You can also follow us on Instagram at NSU_Mako TV. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Go Sharks!